welcome to Papastache 102. So, I am designing a pedal board, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick overview of some of the pedals that I have decided on. And I really like this first one I'm going to do a demo on. I mean, I like all of them. They're going on my board, right? But this one's really cool because oftentimes I get asked, hey, what's a good pedal or pedals? Like, what's a good overdrive? What's a good fuzz? Well, this pedal has both in one pedal. And it is sweet. It's an alien analog or analog alien. Let me look down. It is analog alien. See, man, I just step on the pedals. I don't read what they're called. But it's called a Fuzz Bubble. And the thing is sick. So what I'm going to do is give you a quick demo on what it does. And it might be a great option for all you blues / psychedelic rock players out there that want a good overdrive and a good fuzz. All right, let's zoom in and check it out. All right, so what we're going to do is check out this pedal, this new pedal I got for my board. I'm designing a board, and my whole objective was to be able to get, I'm an overdrive and distortion junkie. I like different tones. I like to set different pedals up differently so I can get different sounds, different eras, whether it's metal or classic rock or psychedelic rock or anything like that. So I was in the search for a fuzz pedal, and I came across a couple demos on this particular pedal, and it was amazing. I was listening, I was like, wow, and everybody who demoed it really liked the pedal. They couldn't say enough about it, so I'm like, I've heard a couple demos, this thing sounds great, I'm just going to buy one and see if I like it. And sure enough, when it got here, it was freaking awesome. And so, aside from the awesome artwork, you get bubbles with it, so your kids will love it. I have this little 3-year-old, and he's like, Dad, there's bubbles in there. Oh my God. And it's like his little mind was blown, on top of it being a cool purple pedal, right? So we have a bypass of the effect, so that's on and off. And then this side goes between the Pete and the Jimmy sides of the pedal. One of them is an overdrive, right? You have an output knob, which is the overall volume. Very cool feature, though. Even if you're setting like at unity gain, if you crank this up, it fattens up and gains up a little bit too. So mess with going all the way up to 10, like how everything should be, right? On the out knob. Now this is the year. It's supposedly from 67 to 77, right? So that's kind of the varying amounts of overdrive. And then what you would do is you would click, well, actually, see, that's that one side. This is the blinding, burn out your retina side, the Jimmy side, because it opens up a porthole to fuzz wonderland, right? This one is an in knob and an out. It's very cool to mess with these two knobs back and forth, which I'll show you. You get a whole bunch of different smattering of gain and tone options there. And then this is the amount of the fuzz. Each side has a tone knob, which is either a thinner or fattens it up a little bit. So let's go over to the Pete side, and I'll just show you what my amp sounds like by itself. And this is at a whisper volume too. I mean, my amp's barely on. Right, so this is great for those quiet gigs too. So click it on. We'll go over to the right. Not too much going on. Start cranking up that out. Right, I'm like, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere, right? Now what we can do is click the tone knob, and it just gets super fat. Personally. Can't even talk. Preferably, I like this side. There we go. Right? So we can turn it back. Have a nice clean. Right? Or we can get kind of a little more. Get about here. pretty good, and then we can just crank it up. Right, so it's got a sick overdrive to begin with, right? And it's just like, wow, that's a totally useful overdrive. Again, the amp's volume is whisper quiet. I mean, this total bedroom level. This could be midnight in an apartment with your windows open, and you're all good. Okay, so that side sounds really awesome. Now, we got kind of the same thing going on. Burn out the retina side. And check this out. So, we'll turn this guy back. We'll set everything about halfway. Barely anything there. Okay, so it sounds like a little more... Alright, we're getting somewhere. Right, so it's an awesome fuzz too. So it really, I can't express enough, especially, you know, like I said, if I had my amp turned up, what's amazing is it really sounds massive when you get the speakers going, you get the tubes going in the amp. I mean, and forget about it if you run the amp with a little bit of gain, right? I can turn up the gain a little bit on this thing. I mean, you have sustain forever. And that's barely on. So it's just a great pedal for that too. If you got, you know, a classic or blues, classic rock or blues gig going on, you can only take one or two pedals, this and maybe a delay, maybe a wah. You'll be totally in. I highly, highly, highly recommend this pedal. It really is not very expensive either for what it does. It's two very high quality devices, an overdrive and a fuzz in one pedal, and it's built like a tank. It's got a wicked paint job, and like I said, you know, for what it is, it's actually a pretty cheap pedal as far as price goes. It's not cheap in sound. I totally am stoked on this thing. So check one out.